I don't know if you guys can see this. I just got fiberglass resin in my hair. It's not very deep though, so I think I can probably get it out with like a decent haircut or maybe some shampoo. Let me show you what I was doing. What I was doing, I'm just rounding off the corners. So the corners are nice and round for the air to flow better. I mixed a pretty decent sized batch, and basically this part on the back took me a lot longer to do with the fiberglass mat than I thought it was going to take. So the resin started to gel pretty quick, and I just wasn't able to use it all up, so I just started spreading it all over everything. I was planning on doing it anyways, so I guess I just knocked it out earlier. The fiberglass resin is actually really nice because it's a liquid, so it's self-leveling, so it's gonna create a nice hard smooth surface for the air to flow on, so it's not gonna cause any resistance with the airflow. What I was trying to do, I was trying to put these staples in up here, and while I was doing that, I somehow hit my freaking head on here like 2 times. So my head was stuck to that a little bit, but that's alright. Learning experiences, I'd like to share them with you guys because if you guys are watching these videos for instructional purposes, that's where you're going to learn stuff. And I don't really care when I fuck up stuff because I learned from it too. So I think the issue with the resin was I'm not used to a warm garage when I'm mixing the fiberglass. I did a lot of my fiberglassing in a garage that was about 50 degrees, so it hardened. It took a really long time to start to harden. Now my garage is probably about 75 degrees because I have my nice awesome propane heater that keeps my garage very warm. So it started to gel really quick because it has to be at room temperature. So I mixed a batch that was too big, so I guess learning experience, don't mix batches that are too big. Don't put your head on stuff that is fiberglass resin on it. Yeah. Alright, and like I said, I'm not really too worried about fiberglassing the whole inside already. The only thing that kind of bothers me and kind of threw me off a little bit is that the whole inside of the box is sticky now, so I have to wait until this is going to harden. So it kind of set me back a little bit because I just have to wait. And I wasn't planning on doing it yet, so I didn't clean the inside of the box before I laid the resin. So now I have all these chunks of shit and dust everywhere mixed in with everything. So that's kind of gonna not really defeat the purpose, but it kind of, I don't know, it just neutralizes it, I guess. But it should still help a little bit. I'm probably gonna do a couple more layers, so maybe it'll level itself off a little bit better. I'm making some brackets with some threaded rod again. I drilled some holes so the screws can be flush mounted, and I drilled another hole to weld to the rod. I'll show you what I'm doing. I have one rod already set up. It's not welded yet, but that's how it's going to be. The screws are flush mounted, so I can lay some fiberglass over it and the screws aren't going to be popping out. And I'm going to go through right now and weld that rod in, just tack weld it in so I can take it out and actually completely weld it. It's not welded yet, but that's how it's going to be. There's going to be one here and then one on the inside of the port going from the front baffle to the back of the port, so the port shouldn't flex at all. Alright, here's the welds, and that's what it looks like on the other side. I just ground that down so it's going to fit right. That's what it looks like. Now I'll test fit it. Alright, here's one done inside the port. Screws are flush mounted, some better than others, of course. So now I'll just probably lay some resin over the top of that so it's a little bit smoother. That's how it's gonna be. Okay, everybody, here is the inside of my port. It is a big fucking port. I have my bar. There's the screws, or the rod comes through on the other side. Corners rounded off. Yes, it is duct tape, but it is covered in resin. It has wood bracing behind it and spray foam behind it, also covered in resin. The duct tape was just to get some more of a round shape, so it should work pretty nice. Ceiling's done. Port wall's done. I still have to do this yet. So I still have to put the wall in that goes here, so I'm going to do that next probably. I think I'm done on the inside so far. I also resined the inside. The rod on the inside. Ceiling. Wall, floor. Pretty much everything is covered in resin so far. Okay, if there's anybody wondering like what is taking so long on this project, I just want to let you guys know, I guess, the difficulty of this project and just how tedious I guess it is. I've been working on this side panel, which is the final panel of the whole enclosure. I've been working on this one for probably about 15 minutes trying to get it in. It's so tight and so close to the actual metal that I'm working with. I mean, I built this thing as big as I could possibly make it. Okay, the main problem I'm having right here, I'm thinking is this, because it's hitting on there. Just wanted to let you guys know, I'll give you an idea. Maybe a sneak peek quick while I'm down here of the bottom of the box. Just a whole lot of bracing and about 3 or 4 cans of spray foam underneath there. Okay, and what I didn't realize before, but I just figured out, that side over there had probably about a 3-inch gap. That's why I had to put in that extra piece and do all that fiberglassing and stuff over there to get it to fit right. And I was wondering why this piece had, it's flush with the sidewall to the port, so I had some support for the port wall. And that's what the issue was with how tight it was getting in. Sorry, I'm in a really fucked up position. Pretty much with this whole build, I've been in a fucked up position. This expandable foam is actually a really good adhesive, which I didn't know before. I thought, give you a little walkthrough. Here's the inside of the port wall. So, I mean, the port is just fucking huge. I really hope it's not going to be a problem for me. I'm kind of worried about it, but I guess we'll see how it sounds. Yeah. It's coming together. Alright, guys. It's always been an obsession of mine, I guess, to be able to fit inside of one of my boxes. I've always seen pictures and videos and whatever of ports big enough for people to crawl into. And I knew someday I would have something like that eventually, but here's my test to see if I have succeeded, if I can fit inside my box. But anyone can fit inside of their box. Anyone can. If you have like a 10 or a 12-inch box, I don't know about an 8-inch box unless you have a small head. But I mean, you could stick your head inside your box and say that you fit. But here's my test to see if I can officially fit inside of my box. Just like I said before, it's fun to watch people struggle, so I'm going to set you guys on my dashboard. Just like my headliner video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And here I go. Here I am. I think I might have cut my head, but whatever. Ugh. The hardest part, I guess, is going to be the seats, because I didn't take the seats out. If the seats weren't in the way, you wouldn't even be watching me do it. Alright, now I'm making my 45 for the inside of the port, for the corner, but I'm using the piece that I cut off to actually extend into the full corner of the port. So it's just completely full. It's not just, there's no gap behind it. So that's what I'm going to do.